Welcome to Mishna study Masechet Maaser Sheni Perek Bet Mishnah Bet. Over here in this Mishnah, we'll see Maaser Sheni oil in Jerusalem. What's the law of this case? We'll see Harambam over here in this Mishnah, really in rare form. It's one of the the beautiful parts of actually studying Perush Harambam, on the Mishnayot, because he wrote this at such a young, early age, between 23 to 30. Right, it took those 7 years that he wrote it during those times, and in his youth he was. We'll see how he writes. It's interesting. And let's jump into it. Rabbi Shimon Omer, En sachin shemen shel maaser sheni b'Yerushalayim v'chachamim matirim. So Rabbi Shimon says, you're not allowed to anoint yourself with shemen, oil maaser sheni in Jerusalem, and chachamim allow. Now, what's Rabbi Shimon, first of all, is not saying, I'll tell you what he's not saying. He's not arguing, and when we said before that maaser sheni you're allowed to use for anointing, right? Like some other Mefarshim actually explain, right? That's not what he's saying, because people that explain like that don't understand the Mishnah of Rabbi Shimon and Chachamim who are arguing, right? This is what Harambam saying. It's not my words, right? Many Mefarshim do explain like this. You'll see many Mefarshim, even Bartanura follows in this way. Of explaining the Mishnah this way. Harambam is very clear. Is like, people who did not understand the Mishnah explained it like that. That's not what's going on, because then it would have mentioned the word Yerushalayim, right? The whole machloket over here is whether or not you're allowed to anoint yourself with Maaser Sheni oil in Jerusalem, right? You can't say the machloket is just arbitrary outside of Jerusalem. And we don't find anywhere Rabbi Shimon arguing on, saying that you're not allowed to anoint yourself at all, right? If Rabbi Shimon did want to say that, he would have said, En sachin Maaser Sheni, period. Right? Or he would say, Maaser Sheni lo nitan l'sicha, you're not allowed to anoint you. That's not what he said, right? So it's obvious that that's not the kavanah. It's obvious that that's not the intention of this Mishnah. Rather, it's something else that has to do with Jerusalem. Now, what does it have to do with Jerusalem? How do we understand this? So Rambam explains, and he says, a person is not allowed to tell his friend in Jerusalem, right, which is the place where you're allowed to, go ahead and purchase your, Maaser Sheni, tells him, what, I want you to go take some of this oil that I have over here and, rub me with it. Yeah, just rub my arm, get this oil into my arm. Now, what does that do? When your friend's doing that for you, he's benefiting also, right? He's getting oil that gets absorbed into his hand. And it's almost like it could be viewed as a payment. And that's why Rabbi Shimon says that a person is not allowed to tell his friend to please anoint me with oil, because there's a sort of underlying payment that's going to his friend, where his friend gets to rub oil into his hands, right? He gets, basically he's getting hand cream for free. Or not for free, right? He's getting paid, right, to use this Maaser Sheni oil, and that would be, forbidden. Meaning what? You're not allowed to hire someone with your money, a Maaser Sheni. Now, Hamim allow it. Why do Hamim allow it? Because they say that this is, the money that he's getting for, that no one cares about that. It's pennies, right? They say, oh, you just gave him a little hand cream. You just gave him a little oil for his hands, right? That's really not considered. Now, Amru lo Rabbi Shimon, Hamim to Rabbi Shimon, im hekel batiruma hamura lo nakel maaser sheni akal. Look, Rabbi Shimon, how could you say it's asur? When it comes to tiruma, right? We know that a kohen could tell Yisrael, right? First of all, tiruma is much more stringent, right? In general, tiruma, no one's allowed to eat. Only kohanim are allowed to eat it. Maaser Sheni, everyone's allowed to eat it. And Yisrael's allowed to eat Maaser Sheni if he's in Jerusalem, right? Now, when it comes to tiruma, a kohen's allowed to tell Yisrael, oh, come ahead and rub this oil in for me, right? So if we allow by tiruma, which was more hamur, we're not going to allow Maaser Sheni that everyone's allowed to benefit from. So Amar Lehem, Rabbi Shimon responds, Mai mekel batiruma hamura mekom shekel bekarshin batiltan. Look, there's something when it comes to tiruma. Okay, you're saying it's more hamur, but there's also a kula when it comes to tiruma, and that is when it comes to the vetches, and the tiltan is the fenugreek. We'll see actually in these upcoming two Mishnayot that there's something lenient when it comes to tiruma more than Maaser Sheni. So nakel Maaser Sheni hakal, we're going to go ahead and be mekel in Maaser Sheni, which is more lenient in these cases. Makom shelo ekal b'kashini batiltan, right? In a place where we weren't mekel, we weren't more lenient. Right, we were more strict when it came to Maaser Sheni, when it came to these vetches and the fenugreek, right? So the point over here is, don't say that Truma is always more stringent, and anytime we allow something Maaser, we allow something in Truma, we're obviously going to allow it in Maaser Sheni. We found cases that were otherwise, Right? We found cases that there was only allowed in Teruma, not allowed in Maaser Sheni. So maybe this falls into one of these cases. That's what Rabbi Shimon is saying. And we'll see in this upcoming Mishnayot what's this Kal Vachomer that we're referring to in regards to the vetches and the fenugreek.